All right. Welcome back into the Double Coverage Podcast. Now it's more of a three-man deep kind of podcast for this episode. As always, Dylan Mel, joined by my guy JaVon. And now in the house, Darien Chill Takes. You might know him on TikTok. You might know him on YouTube. If you don't, everything is linked in the description. Appreciate you joining the pod for this, Darien. Top 10 quarterback rankings debate. Nobody knows each other's list going into this. I thought that was very important. We didn't discuss any rankings in the pre-show. All we discussed was it was our top 10 quarterbacks going into next season. So it's a little bit of projecting, at least on my end. I don't know how much you guys based off of what we just saw versus what you think might happen. The way that we're going to do it is left to right. So at least left to right on my screen, maybe right to left. I don't know if this is mirrored for you guys to be myself, JaVon, then Darien. We're going to all start at 10, then we're going to all go to 9, and we'll see where it starts. I'll start us off. My number 10 quarterback going into next year is the Iceman, Caleb Williams. I think Caleb has very high potential. I think he could be a top 5 quarterback in the league. I think he could be in MVP conversations. I think a little bit of Caleb's play can be overrated because of how much he produces in the fourth quarter and how clutch he is. But for the first 3 quarters, there's certainly some inconsistencies. You'd like to see him be more accurate, especially on the easy stuff, the underneath stuff, the flat routes, etc. But the guy can make throws that maybe 2 other guys in football can make. The guy is as clutch as can be. He led a top 5 offense this year. You just want to see more consistent level play. I felt like they had a lot of comeback wins this year as well against some bad teams like the Raiders. They needed a blocked field goal to win. If he can be a more clean player, he could certainly shoot up this list. I have him at 10. Is he on your guys' list?
Yeah, he's there. He's there. I almost said what number he was.
Almost ruined it.
Yeah, for real. But he's there.
Did he make your list, Darien?
I was debating.
Nah.
But my twin, he didn't make my list, man. He didn't make my list.
No, yeah. Okay. I thought that as I said it, I'm like looking at because I used a tier list and I'm looking at him and I'm looking at you and I'm like,
yeah, man,
these guys kind of look alike over here.
Yeah.
The upside of Caleb is so there, but I just don't think he's quite as a complete project yet as maybe the Ben Johnson offense will make him seem. When I first sat down to do this list, I was like, oh, I might have Caleb top 5. And then as I progressed through it, I was like, well, in terms of consistency and who I value, I actually like some of these other guys better than him, but I couldn't quite leave him off the list just because the extras that he has in terms of arm strength, ability to make plays on the run, mobility. Again, we saw multiple of these plays in the playoffs. The Air Jordan pass to Adunze, the pass to Cole Kmet to send the Rams game to overtime. You can't teach those level plays. You could teach the easy stuff. Hopefully he learns it. Caleb Williams, my number 10. JaVon, who do you got at 10?
So at number 10, I got Drake May, and it was between Drake May and Sam Darnold. That's crazy. So Sam Darnold is not on my list. Spoiler, but Drake May. The thing is, man, I feel like I would have put him in the top 6, maybe top 5, but that playoff run, like, I'm sorry, I can't unsee
that killed his value for me because I don't know who you have above him. But I'll spoil it. He's on my list, and he's higher than 10. 10 feels way too low to me.
Nah, man, I just can't get past him almost losing to a quarterback that started like 4 games in 3 seasons, like a backup quarterback, and he almost lost. And I get it. He's played hard defenses every game in the playoffs, but when it comes to the playoffs, it's mainly determined on quarterback matchups. That's why Sam Darnold won the Super Bowl, because at the end, he outplayed the opposing quarterback basically every game in the playoffs. And Drake May, man, one can say the easy schedule he had, I mean, maybe he's overrated, man. I heard people say he would be the most overrated MVP ever if he won the MVP. So I don't
He
know,
was
man.
one vote away from winning MVP.
Exactly.
I think we did this with CJ Stroud a little bit too, and he didn't make my list, so I don't mind bringing it up here.
Nowhere near my list.
But my point being, I think what we saw at the end was far worse than what they were consistently, especially in the case of Drake May. What we saw those last couple, the key was rightfully so in MVP conversations, that I believe the sour taste there has him a little bit too low. But I also know from doing the podcast with you for a long time, you value guys who show up in the big moments more than guys who show up in week 13 versus the Jets. So I get it.
Yeah. I mean, he had one of the easiest schedules in NFL history, and then you stink it up like that in the playoffs. You can't blame me for saying he's overrated. You just can't. So,
man, I wonder what you're gonna say when I rank him.
Bro,
but
hey, we'll see. Bro,
we got
if you have him over Joe Burrow, bro.
We got 2 second-year quarterbacks in both of our 10 spots. Darien, are you keeping the trend alive? Do you have a second-year quarterback in number 10? Or
it was very hard to put this in position. Damn, man, I'm still debating because I have like 10, with 3 different names.
There was a lot of.
Yes.
I do think 10 through 14 for me was very interchangeable.
Yes, I agree. I like the names you gave: Caleb, Drake, respectable, right? At 10, I'm going to go with Jordan Love. I'm going to go with Jay Love.
Wow.
He
didn't make my list, but he was in that 10 to 14. He was in that 10 to 14 range.
I'm going to get. It was between. It was between. I won't lie. It was between Jaden, Jay Love, and Caleb Williams for me. That was my 3.
Wow.
I'm going Jordan Love because I know JaVon. He just said he what you doing in the playoffs. I get that, right? But I don't want to.
He showed up in that Bears playoff game. He had 4 touchdown passes.
I don't want to be the guy to say is not his fault, but I have to be for this year. Like you just said, man. I feel as if Jay Love had a great playoff game. Granted, he was a factor in why they blew that lead. Right? You can blame it on defense. You can blame it on LaFleur being very conservative. But I think you look at his numbers last year. He was one of the best quarterbacks in football before he went down with his injury. Right? His team was decimated with injuries. His best target and Tucker Kraft went down with an injury. You had guys like who else got injured? Christian Watson came in late for that season. And
Jaden Reed gets hurt every year.
Jaden Reed gets hurt, and he was still able to really uplift that team. And also, that defense wasn't that good this year either, right? Especially when Michael went down, right? So
they didn't win a game after Michael went down either,
right? I mean, so I think Jay Love is a really good quarterback. Granted, he's only won 1 playoff game in his 5 years of his career so far, right? Or no, 6 years now, right? So entering year 7, so 1 playoff win. But I think it's not really necessarily his fault. I looked at his stats, before getting injured, he was eclipsing 3,500 yards passing, 27 touchdowns, really good taking care of the football and whatnot. And like we talk about with Caleb, what you say about, well, you didn't say really about Drake May, but when we talk about Caleb, Jay Love is a quarterback that can make a lot of big time throws on the field. Granted, some of them are ducks, right? That Carolina game comes to mind, right? He was playing very ass that game.
He's willing to let that thing fly off his back foot way more than I would like.
Exactly. But there's throws. I forgot what game it was this season. I forgot what it was. He had a crazy.
There were some games this year where he would back up, throw off his back foot, and I'd be like, "Oh no, oh no!" I'd be like, "Oh, that's right in the bread basket."
Right. So I think Jay Love is kind of going into that underrated category, in my opinion. And I think he's definitely a top 10 quarterback entering 2026 or 2025-2026 season.
I will say a stat to support you for my advanced analytics people. On the year in totality, total EPA, Jordan Love was number 2.
Come on now.
Wow.
I'm not even an analytic guy like that. So
number 1, by the way, was Drake May. I think that'll matter for the future. When I start to talk about where I have Drake May.
Yeah, man. Come on now. We here.
Number 9, maybe the most controversial quarterback in the NFL to discuss. I have Justin Herbert at number 9. So Justin Herbert, I don't know where he fell on your guys' list, if he made your guys' list. I did penalize him for the fact that he still hasn't found a way to win a playoff game.
Mhm.
And I don't, in the vacuum of this year, he had the worst offensive line in football come the end of the year. Hampton was coming back off of an injury. You lose to the team that went to the Super Bowl. I get it, but you were demolished. Like you couldn't do anything in that football game. And I feel like that's what we've said about Justin Herbert for 2 years in a row now. He gets to the playoffs and gets spanked. So I had to demote him down to 9 on my list. However, in terms of if I were to build a quarterback in a factory, he'd be top 5. The size is there. The arm talent is there. He's showed this year a ton of mobility. And I think with proper protection next year with Slater and Alt back, and especially with Mike McDaniel heading up this offense, Justin Herbert has all the ability in the world to move up my list. But everybody above him on my list has high-level talents and has proven way more in terms of winning, whether it's been winning Super Bowls or at least winning playoff games. If you don't have a single playoff win, I can't put you any higher than 9.
Fair.
Okay. I mean, I do understand that. My list is definitely different from that. But honestly, when I look at the quarterbacks between the 6 and the 8, I feel like Justin Herbert has been asked to do more in the playoff games than those quarterbacks.
I mean, listen, Justin Herbert got an MVP vote this year. It was crazy, but he got one.
Terrible.
Remember, we talked about it briefly on one of the earlier podcasts.
In terms of the word valuable, I do understand where people were like he should get some votes. I couldn't believe he got a vote for first place.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
That was the thing for me.
It's crazy to think about like how he choked so bad in the playoffs, but people tend to forget everything that he had to do this year just to get to the playoffs. They shouldn't have made it, bro.
And that's why I have him at 9. Because I do want to show respect for what Herbert did do this year. He was 9th in the NFL in passing yards. He had 26 passing touchdowns. The 13 interceptions, though, was pretty high. That's a 2-to-1 ratio. If you're going to be this high-end player, I feel like that should be at a 3-to-1 number. But I also understand that when Herbert had just Joe Alt, he was looking like an MVP caliber player to me. Like the second that offensive line just died, his play regressed. And I get it, but we've seen Patrick Mahomes win a Super Bowl with his wide receiving core being Kadarius Toney and Sky Moore. If you're this elite player, you got to compete in playoff games. Like the past 2 years, it's just been spankings from teams that lost in embarrassing ways eventually. So
and just to interject, 2 of those 3 games he lost playoff games in, he was the favorite to win in those matchups heading in, Jacksonville and the Texans.
Do you guys have Herbert on your list? I don't need to know a number. But okay.
Yeah, he's on there. I think it's crazy how many teams in the AFC, like, their O-line is an excuse for why they're not successful, bro. Like, the Chiefs, when they got blown out against Tom Brady, or the Bengals with Joe Burrow, their O-line sucks, or the Texans. It's just crazy how that's, like, a trending topic in the AFC.
I mean, to be fair to Herbert, his offensive line was quite literally ranked 32nd in football per PFF. So we are at we're at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to Justin Herbert. But JaVon, you're number 9 quarterback. Who do you have here?
My number 9 is Caleb Williams.
Okay.
So, yeah. The thing is with
Caleb over Drake.
Oh yeah, definitely. That whatever happened in this playoff run would not have happened. I'm sure of it. Caleb would have made something work, bro. Like, I'm sorry, but I'm told you I'm low on Drake May now. But Caleb Williams, man, he's given me no reason to not believe in him. When you look at his improvement from the second half of the season and the playoffs included, he hasn't given you a reason to not think he's going to get better next year. It seems like the more games he plays, the better he gets every single game. And you expect something of that when it comes to you being a number 1 overall generational quarterback. So if he can literally just learn how to throw drag routes and short intermediate passes, get your completion percentage to the mid 60s at least. Like, he can definitely, he has potential to be the best quarterback in the NFL. He has that type of potential.
Yeah, absolutely. While I don't agree with Caleb over Drake May, I had him at 10, so having him at 9 feels pretty fair to me.
And he has the weapons to be, and the coach to be the best quarterback potentially.
Oh yeah, for sure. So we talked about Caleb a little bit already. Darien, number 9. Who do you got?
Yeah, at 9, I'm gonna go with you. I have Justin Herbert.
Okay.
He's definitely slid down a bit. I have to still account for him being able to lift the deficiencies on his team throughout this season, having the worst offensive line in football, losing both Slater and Alt was big time, right? Not even having Amari and Hamden, right, for a huge chunk of this season.
Yeah.
But in the playoffs, you got to grab one. If you are this consensusly viewed, if that's even a word, if you're a viewed consensus top 5 quarterback in football, I got to see a playoff win, right? He's yet to get
That's
one.
fair.
And it seems as if game by game in the postseason, he gets worse, right? By far. Granted, that Patriots defense they played their asses off. But I mean, come on, there's guys running open. You're frailing in the pocket, and then after game, we hear you talk about the matchup and what happened, and they ask you questions about like, what can you do to overcome this? You say, I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, and the two things for him too, it's versus Houston last year, I felt like the man was willing to throw any pass.
Yes.
And versus New England this year, I felt like he wasn't willing to throw any pass. You have to wonder, is there a mental barrier for this guy when the games get big that no matter how much talent's around him, is it going to come up?
And that's okay, right? But we're going to rank you accordingly now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you may be this regular season warrior, but when you get to the postseason, and it happens for a lot of young guys. That's why you have to have patience with the guys. It's not a microwave type of situation with these quarterbacks in football, right? Some guys are anomalies. Like Patrick Mahomes, right? He came in, boom, getting it done year 2, right? Won a Super Bowl. But for guys like Herbert, guys like, Dak Prescott, we'll see what happens with him in the future. But, some of these guys takes a long time. So I'll show him grace for now, but at the same time, I got to rank him accordingly. And right now he's at 9. I think he has a chance to bounce back. Losing Greg Roman is big because Greg Roman is he's an ass coordinator in my opinion, right? I think he's his time in this league. He hasn't been good since Lamar Jackson's first MVP, right? Having that combination was not going to work. But you get McDaniel, nuance on offense, right? More creativity. He's going to make. I think in McDaniel's press conference, he talked about like how he's going to make the easy things elite for Herbert, right? And I think that'll be big. So as of right now, I got him. Now he could definitely shoot up, but for him to shoot up, he has to be able to grab a playoff win, man. It's time. You're entering year 7 now. It is time.
If it's not this year, he might fall out of my top 10.
Yeah,
because when you look at the team, like everything's there.
I agree. And then you start having conversations like, okay, like, is he this generation's Phillip Rivers? Like, is he really that? Is he really that?
And that's not crazy to say.
It's not. It's really not.
That's wild, bro.
No, that's not correct. That's not crazy. I don't know why you think that, because
that's crazy.
I guess my question. I mean, you know what? Because you said you still have Herbert on your list, right? You still have Herbert coming up on your list. I don't know if I cut out. Okay, yeah.
Herbert.
So we'll let you defend Herbert when we get to him for you. My number 8 might require
higher than that.
My number 8 is going to require some defense on my end. I'm already aware of it. I went through my roommate and was like, "Hey, what do you think of this list?" And he gave me some pushback here. At number 8, I have Jaden Daniels.
I'm not mad at it.
Listen, my thing with Jaden Daniels is we saw what he is healthy last season, and I'm not going to just throw that away. The man in his rookie year had 3,500 passing yards, 25 passing touchdowns, and 900 rushing yards and 6 rushing touchdowns, and was one of the most efficient quarterbacks in football. You looked at that Commanders team this year without him, they were ass. That's mostly the same team that it was last year. Mm-hmm. And he took them to an NFC championship game. Granted, when they got there, they were just outmatched talent-wise across the board. But we just talked about Justin Herbert not having a playoff win in his career. Jaden Daniels in year 1 took his team to a conference championship game. Yes, he was banged up this year, and he wasn't as efficient when he was playing hand up, I'll say it. But his top wide receiver, Terry McLaurin, missed all of training camp and was injured most of the time that he was healthy. The Commanders didn't have a great team, a great roster, yet Jaden Daniels still found ways to win. And to me, that's what high-level quarterbacks do. And Jaden's got the mobility. He's got one of the best deep balls, great touch when he is active and healthy. I have him at 8 because I do think there is a sense of the best ability is availability, and you do have to factor that in a little bit. And with his frame, the man was injured 3 different times this year in 3 different ways. It wasn't one nagging injury. So was his rookie season where he stayed healthy, was that the anomaly, or was last year just one of the shittiest luck seasons you could have injury-wise? We'll find out. But going into next year, if I had to pick a quarterback to start my team with, he'd still be in that top 10, and for me, he falls at 8.
I'm mad at it.
Dang.
I mean, I like I said, I had a debate between like 10. I think the biggest thing for him though is that when he did play this year, it wasn't really pretty to watch. It was a struggle.
It wasn't, and I do think he was playing a lot of those games hurt. Now, granted, the first 2 games of the year, against the Giants, he was fine, but he did look pretty bad against Green Bay, but their defense was on a tear to open up the year. It's just so tough because the sample size of him being fully healthy wasn't there this year, especially not healthy with Terry McLaurin.
Yeah. I think his best game, if going back, was that Chargers game on the road. He played pretty damn good in that matchup, so...
Yeah, versus the Chargers, he was 15 of 26. He had 1 passing touchdown in that game, 39 rushing yards. But again, there wasn't a lot of great games this year. He was decent against Chicago, 19 of 26 for 211, 3 touchdowns and a pick, a 119 passer rating. But it wasn't a lot of pretty this year. But again, I'm just not going to forget everything that happened in 2024 because people were talking about him the way they talked about Drake May.
Yeah, I will say though before we go to JaVon, I think I love the fact that they got rid of Cliff Kingsbury. I'm not a fan of his game at all.
I think he's only good. I think he's only good when your quarterback is limited, and I think that they know Jaden Daniels isn't limited.
Exactly, I agree.
I mean, you say that about Jaden Daniels, but then you leave CJ Stroud out. CJ Stroud had a hell of a rookie year too. That's all I'm saying. And it's not like
CJ had a hell of a rookie year.
Amazing before he got hurt. So I don't know.
CJ had a great rookie year, but he didn't take his team to the conference championship game, and he doesn't have the rushing ability that Jaden has.
Bro, did he really have a great rookie season? It was fine, but I think that rookie season gets so much hype, dog.
And what did they finish 9-8? I think.
Yeah,
I mean. Jaden won 12 games. Jaden won 12 games and then went to Detroit and beat the 1 seed. To me, that's more impressive.
Okay, I'm just saying.
I mean, listen. I'm not a CJ hater. CJ Stroud is obviously we didn't go this far. CJ's still my 15th ranked quarterback. I still believe in Stroud, but not in this conversation.
That's fair.
JaVon, you're number 8. Who do you got at number 8?
So my number 8 is Jordan Love. The number 8 is Jordan Love. And the thing is, man, I feel like he could be higher. I think he even has a potential to pass Joe Burrow. I just think Matt LaFleur is holding back Jordan Love. I feel like everybody is so caught up in we win if we don't get a turnover or if Jordan Love doesn't turn the ball over. Everyone is so caught up in that they're designing the offense to kind of limit him. So I don't know. I mean, they have Josh Jacobs, and he is a top 5 running back in the league right now. But I would definitely love to see them utilize Jordan Love and his, off-script ability the same way. It's kind of the same story for Caleb Williams as well. You want to rely on his escapability in the biggest moments, but during the entire game, you want to basically play so conservative, and that's why they lost the playoff game, because they played so conservative and took the ball out of Jordan Love's hand. So I definitely think he has potential to climb the ladder, but for right now, I think I'm gonna go with him at 8 right now.
I agree with some of what you said. Matt LaFleur holding Jordan Love back is crazy talk.
I think so.
I think in that playoff game, Matt LaFleur didn't call a great game. Part of me thinks that's also because Josh Jacobs was playing hurt. If you remember, he hadn't played very many snaps the run game that he wanted to rely on wasn't as strong as it was. I believe you brought this up in a TikTok today, which is why I'm going to bring it up. Malik Willis, when he went in there, that was a seamless transition, man. That's why Jordan Love didn't make my top 10, because his backup came in and nothing changed.
I mean, I understand that. I mean, I was
like that game versus Baltimore. They only lost because they gave up 50 points to Derrick Henry.
Oh, yeah. He went stupid.
But like Malik Willis was slinging that game versus Baltimore, I think earned Malik Willis a $25-30 million per year contract, truthfully.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I was thinking about that.
I mean, listen, I had Jordan Love on my list at 13. So anywhere from like 8 to 13, I think is fine. But yeah, to me, Matt LaFleur is the sauce there, not Jordan Love. So that's just where the difference comes in.
Okay, I can respect that.
I don't know. I can't. I mean, Grant, I think Malik Willis has definitely gotten better since stepping into the league. He's about to get his chance at being a starting quarterback in this league as well. He'll get paid. Some team will believe in him. He may get his Geno Smith, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold second opportunity. But I can't sit up here and say they'll be the same team if you see Malik.
I don't think that they'd be the same team over the course of a full season. I just think Matt LaFleur's ability to, hey, Malik has to step in a few games.
Yeah.
We're not dropping off.
Yeah.
That's where I'm like, Matt LaFleur is a good head coach.
Yeah, and that could just be a credit to how good Malik Willis is himself. But I think Jay Love is like,
or maybe it's Sean Mannion. Who knows?
Could be.
Offensive coordinator.
We'll see. Was Howie Roseman cooking? We'll see, right?
Yeah. Who's your number 8?
I can't believe I don't have him yet, and it makes me very worried because y'all may not have him on the list. But I got my quarterback, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, he's not on the list, man.
Y'all messed up.
I'm sorry, bro.
How can y'all? What? How can bro? Explain it before I give my spiel. How could you not have a guy that finished top 5 in MVP voting, threw for over 4,000 yards this year, 39 total touchdowns, went on the road and beat some tough comp. Like he went on the road, beat Denver, whooped ass, belt the ass.
That Denver game did make me view Trevor Lawrence as the definitive future of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Listen. Before you think that that's disrespectful, we have to rewind, because coming into the year there were questions.
Yeah, of course.
There was like, if it didn't work with Liam Cohen, there was gonna be questions about what this guy actually was.
Of course.
So once I saw that Broncos game, I was like, this is legit. This is like the actual head coach quarterback pairing for this team for the next half decade, and they should be excited about it. That's what I mean by it. Not, oh, this guy's a starter. I, for the longest time, was a Trevor Lawrence believer. And of course, this offseason, I was like, you know what? I'll hang it up. I got the take wrong. And then he comes out and does what he does. That playoff game, man, he went back to Trevor turnover.
He wasn't even that bad in that playoff game.
Those two picks he threw were bad.
The first turnover was bad. I'm gonna walk you through this now. I'm gonna spend a little more time.
Defend your quarterback, because I know my turn's coming up to defend mine.
The first, I know what you about to do. You lie on this podcast, but and I might be lying too. Who knows? But that first interception, without question, was terrible. But in that same game, our defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. Our offense, Trevor Lawrence led an offense that put up at least, I want to say, 4 offensive scoring touchdowns in that second half. Our defense couldn't get a stop. Granted, now, of course, game on the line, 50 seconds left. He may have forced the ball to Jacoby Myers. I thought that was a great play by Tre'Davious White. Kobe didn't create enough separation, in my opinion. Pick. Now, everyone's saying, he could have hit Parker Washington. That wasn't going to happen. That's not how the NFL works. Like, those players are running fast.
It actually reminds me of Jordan Love's second playoff game versus the 49ers. It's the first time yes, Trevor Lawrence won that playoff game versus the Chargers, but this is the first time you felt like we have some real motion with this team, and he just forced it a little bit. Not in these situations enough.
Yeah, but he still, in my opinion, went toe to toe with Josh. Josh, of course, played better because our defense couldn't stop him. But we had 3 touchdowns. Some of those touchdowns he was throwing were crazy. Like that Parker Washington one to the back of the end zone, Christian Benford. Beautiful throw, right? And I thought this year he showed so much growth. Like, this is the same quarterback, and I know it may not be the hottest competition, but I don't know. I'm a big believer. I'm a big fan of if a quarterback, rather if he digs himself in a situation or not, and he ends up willing his team to victory, I like that. You know what I'm saying? That Cardinals game, he threw 3 interceptions. I get it, but he answered back and he threw 3 touchdowns. It's the Cardinals. I get it, right? But those are the same games.
My favorite play of the season was the rushing touchdown versus the Chiefs.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Because you're gonna love this. My roommate is a Texans fan, so he obviously doesn't like the Jaguars very much, and he very much thinks Trevor Lawrence is buns. And I've been a Trevor Lawrence believer. When we watched that play together, man, I think I went through the same level of roller coaster of emotions that a Jaguars fan went through in that play, because I was so excited. I was like, of course, this is how this guy scores this game winner.
In that exact drive, he had one of the better throws of the game, of course, and of the season for him. That deep shot to BTJ with Watson in coverage. It was a beautiful throw to pick up that first down to get them in scoring position to win the game. So, I mean, like, where do y'all have Trevor Lawrence ranked?
I have him at 16.
16?
My thing is, can we see it again? That's just because when I look at his career, I have 2 good years, I have 2 bad years, and I have 1 middle of the pack year. So can I just now... Listen, and it's not his fault. Okay, Urban Meyer was ass.
Yeah,
like that sucks for him that he was thrown into that. Obviously, I think Doug Peterson's decent. Won a Super Bowl for my team, so maybe I'm living on past glory there with my opinion on Doug Peterson. But Liam Cohen's clearly the truth. If he does what he did this year again, or even like just takes a step back, he could even take a little bit of a step back and not being an MVP candidate, but you win double-digit games, you have more than a 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. I have no problem moving him up. The thing for me was the guys that I had above him either have done it more consistently or, in Sam Darnold's case, just won the Super Bowl.
JaVon, where you have him at?
I had him at 14. Okay, the thing is, man, you can't just go from potentially not being the future of your franchise to a top 10 quarterback in 1 year without making like a championship game at least. Like, just a year ago today, like everyone was saying, like, dang, this is like a make or break year for Trevor Lawrence.
They were talking about his contract in the same breath that they talked about Tua's contract a year ago.
Yeah, and you're right. And right now, he's viewed as arguably one of the more friendlier contracts in football right now. For a I swear to you. Look it up.
No. It's more friendly because your GM does what Howie Roseman does and has deferral years on Trevor Lawrence's contract, so the cap hit isn't that bad year over year. Exactly. But it's still $55 million a year.
I'll say this, and I know we got to move on. I'll say this, right? I'll say this.
This is hilarious.
JaVon was in my inbox on TikTok throughout the beginning of the season, talking, you know what I'm saying, like its own little jabs and whatnot. But when Trevor started playing like an MVP, he was ghost.
That is true, and I didn't believe what I was seeing either.
He didn't comment no more on the page. He was just ghost.
Wow, that's true. The truth comes out.
Man,
from one debate into another, my number 7 is my quarterback, Jalen Hurts.
Yes, man.
You can,
bro. He is ass.
It's crazy to me that you say this because of the shared opinion we have on Justin Herbert. Because Jalen Hurts is anti-Herbert in the regular season. The flashy stats aren't there. Like, he gets a lot of rushing touchdowns. Granted, it is on the back of the tush push. However, I do want to throw this out there. I'd say it every time we talk about the tush push. Only Josh Allen executes it to somewhat close to level the Eagles do.
I agree.
So to me, yes, the tush push, you could not like the play, but Jalen Hurts makes that play what it is. And in the biggest spots, this guy is a riser. His 2 best career games ever, in my opinion, are both Super Bowl games. I believe he outplayed Patrick Mahomes both times in the Super Bowl. Mahomes won the first one, but to me, what we've seen from Jalen Hurts in the playoffs is an ability to let it rip. And this is also a guy who every year of his career has had a different offensive coordinator, yet he has a winning record every year, makes the playoffs every year, is almost a shoo-in to win a playoff game most seasons, and has been to 2 Super Bowls in 5 years as a starter. Yes, the roster's good, but that's why I don't have him at 1.
Dylan,
This is 1. Wait, hold up.
No. That's why I don't have him at 1, because there are certain elite traits that he's missing. However, an elite trait that he has is an ability to win. That is a trait.
Oh, but that winning is not a quarterback stat.
You
Since
can't
when?
No, see, I'm glad we have you on, because me and JaVon agree on this, so there's never any debate on this.
Oh my
But
goodness, man.
Hold up.
Who's the best quarterback of all time? Is it Tom Brady? Why? Because he's won 8 Super Bowls?
But Tom Brady was out there putting in work.
Okay, hold up. In what world? In what world can you outplay Patrick Mahomes in 2 Super Bowls and be called
for sure. For sure. No, we before the podcast started, we said going into next season.
Yeah, going into next season.
What we saw this year and going into next season. I'm looking at the stat, and I don't want to be a box score watcher, but we just talked about quarterback is a winning stat for you.
I'm gonna let Dylan handle this.
Let's go back to that. Let's go back to that Chiefs game, right? Week 2. Y'all whooped them 21-3, right? Something like that. What was the score?
We won 2017 week 2. We in the Super Bowl. It was
no. I'm talking about this year.
Yeah, this year it was 20-17.
20-17. Right? I thought it was a little further than that, but 20-17. Jalen Hurts did nothing substantial in that game for y'all to win. 101 passing yards. 101. 100. Is it Saquon Barkley? 101 passing yards. Now, of course, he had some better games throughout the season, right? I thought one of his better games was this year. For what question was that Rams matchup? Had to walk them boys back down. And
also Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota
for sure. And I will start off by saying this as well. I think Kevin Patullo was a huge reason on his failures this year. But
don't get me going on Patullo.
I agree with you.
I was gonna. You haven't said nothing about it. I was.
Yeah. Kevin Patullo, he is buns. That's why he got fired, right? But
yeah,
could we argue that his quarterback was just not the same guy this year? I'm looking at I don't want to box or watching.
He did have 33 touchdowns on the year. So he had 33 touchdowns on the year. Jalen Hurts.
33 touchdowns. How many of them was some tush pushes?
I mean, he only had 8 rushing touchdowns, and I know for a fact that 2 or 3 of them were real runs.
Okay.
So the tush push argument, the Eagles couldn't run it effectively this year because Cam Jurgens and Dickerson were both hurt. So to me, the people that will push the tush push, and I'm not saying you are, but there are people out there that are very push the narrative that Jalen Hurts is only one play is crazy to me, because he does have a really solid deep ball. And again, the big spots, he steps up. I hope it works out with Mannion he's the offensive coordinator for more than 1 year, because I would love to see Jalen Hurts with a guy for more than 1 year. The only time we saw him with an elite play caller in Shane Steichen, he was a top 5 MVP candidate.
I agree. I want to say this. I know we're spending a lot of time on Hurts, but you look at his numbers. The last time he passed for 200+ yards this year was December 8th against the Chargers. 240, 0 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He was terrible that game. To follow up, granted, they won, but we're looking at games against Buffalo on the road. Granted, that defense played out of this world. They won a game with him only having 12 passing yards in the second half.
All right. 2 words.
110 yards passing. These are not stats we can say.
I would like to clarify, because I know you weren't on the show last year. He did move down my rankings to 7. So he did get penalized for me. And I know some people that will be watching didn't watch last year. I have moved him down. He was 5 for me last year. For
sure. And I had him higher too, but it was too many times this year. That Black Friday game against the Bears, terrible.
I was there in person, freezing my ass off. You don't got to tell me twice about that.
And I'll say this now: the playoff game. I mean, you talked about him being a rise in the playoffs. This playoff game, I mean, granted, AJ Brown dropped a lot of balls, right? He dropped a lot of balls.
Dude, well, not just AJ. There was about 100 yards passing left on that field from his receivers.
Exactly, but I just feel as if he's becoming limited, and teams are starting to say, "Hey, we're going to sell out on Saquon Barkley and dare you to beat us."
This upcoming season, I agree with you, is massive for him.
For sure. And I hate to say that because he's a champion.
Yeah, and because again, 2 years ago he was Super Bowl MVP. This year, since becoming a starter, you could argue it was his worst year.
Yes, and I also believe this is my last time saying this on Jalen Hurts. I just cannot fathom a quarterback to have all this weaponry on offense and to be subpar at times. You look at Brock Purdy. When he has his healthy teams, he shows up. He plays magnificent football, right? He takes his team and does what he needs to do with that set of weapons. Now, granted, he had injuries this year, but still, you plug any of those top 14 quarterbacks, 15 quarterbacks on our list, I think they win a championship too. Just saying. Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, that offensive line when healthy, come on now.
I think if you plug a lot of guys in, they make the Super Bowl. But Saquon didn't do anything in that Super Bowl. So I don't know, like, this is going to sound crazy to some. I don't know if Justin Herbert wins that game because a lot was on the shoulders of Jalen Hurts in that Super Bowl. And we've seen when there's a lot on the shoulders of a guy like Herbert, he folds.
Oh, man.
I mean, listen, like, obviously obviously you see my list. Jalen Hurts is above Justin Herbert. It's not a surprise I feel that way.
We just watched Sam Darnold win a bowl, man. I don't know. I think you put Sam on that team. I think they still get the job done, man. Oh, I'm not Sam. I'm sorry. Justin Herbert, I think they get the job done, but I'm sorry. I'm spieling on this right
JaVon,
now.
number 7, who you got?
Number 7, I got Justin Herbert, number 7. I feel so. I get it. The playoff success is not there, but I feel like going into next season, he's really going to put it all together. He has the offensive coordinator. By common denominator, man, you look at Tua and what he did with Tua, you got to think with Amari Hampton and Justin Herbert and potentially a top 8 offensive line of football, you have to think he's going to at least be in the MVP conversation. He practically was this year. So going into next season, I definitely feel like maybe if Quentin Johnson can take another step as well, all the weapons, honestly. Trey Harris has to get involved more as well, too. I think next year he's going to put it all together. I think he's going to win a playoff game. I really do.
I also think watch out for them to maybe be the Tyreek Hill landing spot. I don't know what his relationship is with Mike McDaniel and what he wants money-wise, but if they get Tyreek Hill over the top, that offense has top 5 upside.
Yeah, I mean, what? Who would take Keenan Allen's spot? I mean, they're probably going to draft the tight end this year. You have to.
You throw McConkey in the slot, QJ and Tyreek on the outside. Trey Harris doesn't get to play, but oh well. You got Tyreek Hill.
Might be a big year too for Trey Harris. So who knows?
Yeah. Herbert at 7. I don't mind it. Again, I put Jaden and Jalen over him just because of their winning in the playoffs.
I feel that.
You're number 7.
I got Drake May. Had a really sound regular season. Played a very easy schedule.
JaVon's gonna be pissed when I say Drake May's name.
But
you still haven't said him yet. Dang.
I can't. I look at it like this, and I've been saying this about the Patriots all year. This isn't college football, right? You play the games in front of you. We can't say you're not as good because you matched up against Utah State, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, they're playing NFL teams, professional teams in this league. You know, you play the games in front of you. And I don't know about y'all, but for myself and a lot of other creators out there that talk about the game on TikTok and whatnot, a lot of us had the Patriots winning 9 games this year at least, maybe even being a wild card team.
JaVon, it's crazy because this man, JaVon, was the highest person I ever seen on the Patriots. He had him winning 12 games and had him winning the division. He predicted it, and then it happened, and then he sold.
Yeah, I mean, granted, he had a terrible playoff run. He got bailed up by his defense, had a terrible Super Bowl appearance for sure. But this is why he didn't win MVP, in my opinion. And also, this is why you rank quarterbacks accordingly. I think maybe if he would have won the bowl, for sure, he would have been top 5. That's crazy. In year 2, that's something that only Patrick Mahomes has done in recent history. You know what I'm saying? To go from, year 1 to year 2, that transition and whatnot. But I gotta show him grace. Right? He still made some big time plays in the playoffs. Granted, I think his biggest cause for concern right now, and I hope he can fix this, is the lack of ball security. I mean, the fumbles this year I think he had 15 fumbles or something like that this year. It was something.
That second half of the season,
bro. It's disgusting. Like, I mean, I saw this with my own quarterback and Trevor. Like, these are things that you have to take care of yourself. These aren't picks. I can kind of live with picks, right? But fumbling the ball is inexcusable, in my opinion. That is number one job. You taught Pop Warner to take care of the football. His pocket awareness at times is lackadaisical.
horrible.
And I thought, yeah, and granted, Mike McDonald sent the Wolves out for him this the Super Bowl, but at the same time, though, he was fumbling the ball, right? And he had a lot of catch up in that game, and I didn't like that, the makeup and all that stuff like that. We saw the game. The numbers don't tell the full truth. He was buns. He was ass that game. You know what I'm saying? So, but
I also think it's worth noting who his weapons were. I mean,
for sure.
Like,
and
you could argue his most consistent playoff receiver was Kayshon Boutte, which, no disrespect to him, but that's not a high-end wide receiver one in this league.
I agree. And honestly, we can argue that throw he had to Kayshon Boutte against the Texans was not really that good of a throw. It was a hell of a catch by Kayshon Boutte.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think if they address the offense accordingly this offseason, we'll see year 3, Drake May really be able to submit himself as a consensus top 5 guy. More than likely, we'll see. But only year 2, he did a lot of great things in year 2, so I got him 7.
My number 6 is Joe Burrow. To me, it's time. To me, it's time to start penalizing Joe Burrow a little bit. I mean, listen, the best availability, he gets injured every single year, and his team isn't making the playoffs. Now, what are we, 2 years in a row? Is it 3?
I think it's 3.
3 years in a row? So
3 years in a row.
The man is living off of a Super Bowl appearance, which, granted, he had an amazing run that playoffs. But to me, it's time. To me, it's time to start penalizing Joe Burrow for the fact that he can't even take his team to the playoffs. If he was taking his team to the playoffs and competing and winning a playoff games, and then we could look at the defense and be like, that's a really crappy defense, or the offensive line and be like, that's not a good O-line, I'd get it as an excuse for that. But you can't even go above 500 in the regular season. I can't put you as a top 5 quarterback when there are quarterbacks that I still have ahead that have won Super Bowls, won MVPs, competed for MVPs, competed in Super Bowls this year. Joe Burrow's potential and his peak ceiling, you could argue, is top 2 in football. When he is at his best, Joe Burrow is absolute nails. But over the course of it, I got to pull back.
There's 5 quarterbacks better than Joe Burrow on this planet, bro.
There's 5 quarterbacks I would take over the course of a full season next year when I'm factoring health and I'm factoring in what they've shown me.
I hope Sam Darnold. Did you say Sam Darnold?
No. Yeah.
Okay,
Don't put that on me. Sam Darnold did not make my top 10.
This is why I don't agree with quarterback being a winning stat can be a quarterback. I don't agree with that, man. It's a team thing. Joe Burrow had
he played 8 games this year.
Yes, but Joe Burrow in 2024 was insane. And they missed the playoffs because you know why? Their defense was bottom tier. This year
was fantastic in 2024. But again, 2 of the last 3 years, the man has missed 6+ games.
Is it his fault, though?
It's not his fault, but who would I rather have? A guy that I think is going to be healthy.
Okay.
Let me ask you something real quick.
Okay.
Oh, no, you didn't have him better.
I mean, it's not like we're turning injury sliders off.
Okay. I mean, predicting injuries, man. You okay with that? Because Jaden shouldn't have been in anyone's top 10.
You say predicting injuries isn't fair, but half of his career, he misses almost half of the games in a season. We have a pattern at this point.
Would you rather have Joe Burrow or Jalen Hurts as your quarterback? Please be honest with me right now.
Joe Burrow's ranked above him on my list because I believe when they're both healthy, Joe Burrow is clearly the better player.
Okay.
So that's why, to me, Joe Burrow falls to 6 on this spot.
Okay.
Because to me, he's just a far more better quarterback. I don't know, like as a passer, he's just way better.
Just making sure.
Okay, But look at this, bro. Their defense has gotten worse every single year since they made the Super Bowl.
But part of that's Joe Burrow's fault, man. This man went into that front office and demanded they pay T. Higgins.
That's an IQ. Dylan, I ain't gonna hold you. You got a point.
That's an IQ issue.
Okay, I mean, at the same time, it's not like their front office, their GM has been the greatest GM known to mankind.
I'm not claiming he is, but he wasn't going to pay T. Higgins. He was going to pay Trey Hendrickson. And Joe Burrow said, I might demand a trade if T's not here. Well, shit, man. Then get ready to be sacked a bunch, and you need to score 35 points to win. You don't want
You
to
could argue it would have been the same result anyway.
You could
even
argue.
if you re-signed them. And the thing is, man, you have to take into account they've had his whole career they've had the worst coach in their division ever that the playoffs people who they had to go through in the AFC.
Because Joe Burrow, if Joe Burrow didn't like him, he'd be gone.
I don't think Joe Burrow cares for him, honestly. I really don't.
You talk about Joe Burrow caring a lot, or of his legacy being dependent on one Super Bowl run. That is all Zach Taylor's legacy is hanging on by a thread.
Well, listen, if we were ranking head coaches, Zach Taylor wouldn't be on the list. So
okay, and that's my point. We all, even Darien once he stalled out Trevor Lawrence because Urban Meyer, everyone gave Jalen Hurts some slack. Why? Because of Kevin Patullo last season. I mean, can we get Joe Burrow a good head coach?
I mean, I got him at 6. I mean, I got him at 6.
I know.
I said he's off the list. I mean,
yeah, but you said this is just like his make or break. Like I think Joe Burrow is
like
he's
good. He's missed the playoffs enough time in a row for me to say there's 2 other guys that we're gonna. I listen because I doubt he's higher. I mean, we'll see, but most people got him at 4, so I got him at 6. So we'll see where everybody else has him. We'll talk about it when we get there. Listen, winning matters to me. It's reflective throughout my entire list, so the logic stays.
I agree.
JaVon, who's your number 6?
Number 6, I got Jalen Hurts. I do. I mean, bro, you can say what you want. Bro, you can say what you want. He wins games, and I get it. His quarterbacks is not a win stat to you, man. Whatever. That's just your philosophy. I don't get down that way. When you outplayed the greatest quarterback I've seen with my eyes, I didn't see Tom Brady with Randy Moss. I didn't get to witness that with my eyes, but I've witnessed what Patrick Mahomes has done since the start of his career. And once you outplay a guy of that magnitude in the biggest game of the season, and those are your 2 best career games, I'm sorry. I can't put him lower. To have him lower than 8 is utterly disrespectful. And that's just my opinion. Can
you tell we've done a podcast together for 2 years? I know it's your first time on, Darien. Can you tell we've done a podcast together for a couple years?
I'm lost for words, man.
Hey, listen. At least there's going to be a double side here because there's definitely going to be some commenters that agree with you and hate on me and JaVon, and
I just don't.
What it is.
The man wins games. This season was a down year. He had the worst offensive coordinator in football, damn near, bro. You got to cut him some type of slack, at least a little bit. I promise you next year is not going to be as bad as it was this past season. I can promise you that. And you got to think, A.J. Brown, the moment he doesn't get 5 targets in the first half, he's freaking tweaking out, and he's probably reading books on the sideline.
How many receiving yards did A.J. Brown leave in the air this year? Be honest. At least 200.
Probably, around there.
Whether it wasn't finishing the route or dropping the ball. And listen, I'm not a trade A.J. Brown guy, but I'm just saying his disengagement obviously affected the way we looked at Jalen Hurts.
Now, I will say he does have the best supporting cast. Okay, his supporting cast is top tier. Okay, the top 3, and 3 is like, okay.
That's true.
Yeah, he does have a very good supporting cast, but at the same time, he wins games, Yeah. You know what? And by default, I've heard people ask me, why don't I have Brock Purdy, on my top 10 list? And I think that situation is completely different.
For the record, Brock Purdy's my 11. So, again, my same logic does carry through. I know I had Caleb above him because of intangibles, but just to be clear where my logic lies, Purdy was at 11.
I'm going to take the quarterback that wins games. You can look at the stat sheet all you want, bro. I just don't. I don't think that's always the story. I just don't.
I don't want to spend forever on Jalen, but he is a riser, a playoff riser, which me and JaVon value a ton.
He did rise his playoffs.
Not this playoff.
He did it. But that's a down year, bro. Patrick Mahomes had a down year. Is Patrick Mahomes out your top 3?
You lost to San Francisco with practice squad defenders.
But so here's my thing, and this is the thing that I'll stand on that I hate, and we'll see where it reflects in your guys' lists. But I feel like and it's not just this sport, it's a lot of sports. Sometimes guys are better off not making a big game than playing in one and being bad, is what it feels like to me. Like Joe Burrow can't make the playoffs, so we don't get to know if he's a playoff riser or faller anymore. Mahomes missed the playoffs this year, so we don't know if he would have had a disaster playoff game.
Mm-hmm. I think that's like, Robert Saleh, bro. That's Robert Saleh defense.
To me, it's the same thing, though, when people used to hate on LeBron for losing in finals. It's like, so would you have rathered him lose in the Eastern Conference Finals? I'm not going to penalize a guy for having one down playoff game after the year before he won a Super Bowl and was the Super Bowl MVP.
It wasn't just a down. It was a down year.
Don't cap. If he would have won that 49ers game, would your list be any different than it is right now when it comes to Jalen Hurts? Your list would not be any different.
If just on that last play, he threw a touchdown pass to Goddard or whoever he was throwing it to.
If he would have played an A+ game, it wouldn't have changed.
Well,
because of his regular season.
I had the Eagles get into the NFC Championship game. So
I didn't.
Not because of Hurts, because of the defense.
I didn't have them get into an NFC Championship game because I knew.
You didn't trust the playoff riser? Why?
I trust. Well,
he had one bad playoff game, bro. You feel me?
I'd also like to clarify the rushing game wasn't where it was at either.
That's another thing too, because you're limited. You know, if teams can just load up and say you go out there and beat us, number one, and you can't do it,
and then you can only run 3 plays. I mean, your offense gets memed to Saquon up the middle, Saquon up the middle.
I agree. Platudo was garbage without question. But at the same time, I'm looking at the quarterback, man. If you are this playoff riser, if you're this top 6 quarterback in football, I expect you to look at that coordinator and say, I got this. I got AJ Brown. I got Devontae Smith. I got Saquon Barkley.
There were games that I swear that happened this year. I swear he just stopped. But again,
there are
limitations to Jalen Hurts' game that I won't deny. Is he the most accurate passer in the intermediate stuff? Absolutely not. Has he lost a step mobility? Absolutely. Do I think that he, as a leader, should be more emotional? I think the I don't care has gone too far for him.
Yeah.
Because when things like this happen, I need to see you step up and be mad and say, no, this shit has to change.
Yeah.
When Tom Brady's players were having bad games, he'd scream in their face. And I'm watching AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts go pout on opposite sides of the bench.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what are we doing here?
You got Hurts talking like
work this shit out,
game, man. But every quarterback is different, and every leader is different, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But
who's your number 6?
My number 6, let me stop before I go on a whole nother spiel about Jalen Hurts. My number 6 is,
people that love the content, we're gonna rip like an hour and a half, 2 hours on quarterbacks, so good for them.
I got someone that I have not heard yet, and y'all may not have him in your top 10. I got Dak Prescott.
Fuck no, man.
Dak,
what?
Dakota Prescott.
Oh my gosh.
This is a little high for me though.
It's cool. But at the same time,
what number are we at?
We're at 6. When you watch Dakota Prescott play with your own 2 eyes, that is one of the best quarterbacks in football. The arm talent, the accuracy, the big time plays. When he is playing on this offense, when they're healthy, bro, the Cowboys offense is one of the best offenses in football. George Pickens, JaVon.
JaVon's about to give all this credit to George Pickens, so I hope
you 1,000%.
You better not.
On everything.
You're going in the wrong direction, bringing up Pickens.
Yeah, bro.
You know who Dak Prescott's reminding me of right now in his career? Matthew Stafford, before he went to the Rams. You as a quarterback, granted, CeeDee Lamb's a hell of a guy, but we have a career year with you, with Dak Prescott throwing you the football. George Pickens had only a 1,000 year twice in Pittsburgh.
I was saying George Pickens was a top 5. I was saying he was top 5 on the Steelers.
If you come back on for the wide receiver rankings episode, you will see that JaVon will attribute that offense to George Pickens.
I was saying he was top 5 on the Steelers.
That's cool, but then America had to see it, and we saw that. God damn, man! If once he gets a quarterback like a Dak Prescott throwing the football,
I do think Dak has become overhated. I think people acting like Dak isn't.
Have you watched his playoff games, bro?
There's people that will put Baker Mayfield over Dak Prescott, and I think that's a.
Have you watched the playoff game?
I have seen the playoff.
I get it. Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert. You're going to take Justin Herbert over Dak Prescott?
I would take Justin Herbert over Dak Prescott.
I meant the other way around. I'm
taking Dak Prescott right now.
Yes, that's where it gets crazy to me. I
don't think so. I wouldn't do that.
We're talking about a guy that threw for 4,700 plus passing yards this year.
Cool. You act like we've never seen him with a good defense or the best offensive line in the NFL or the best running back in the NFL. We've seen everything.
We've seen him. We've never seen him with a high top 10 defense.
What? He had the best turnover defense that year with Trayvon Diggs.
I'm not talking turnovers. I'm talking about statistically.
The year that they were the 2 seed and Jordan Love came into his crib and he was awful and got embarrassed. That was they had. I think they had. What was it? 13 Pro Bowlers on that roster.
That was first year starter Jordan Love.
And half of them were in defense.
Was getting walked down.
Yeah, but no. We're not rewriting that.
How did he play?
We're not rewriting that game because Dak Prescott was giving the Packers great field position by throwing those interceptions. He had 4 interceptions in the first half or something like that. In the second half, the stats were padded.
He had a pick 6 to Jair Alexander. I do remember that. But he was down 21-0 for the first quarter.
Because part of that's him giving the ball to the other team. Listen, I'm not blaming Dak for everything, but he is a playoff faller. No doubt about it. He has gotten worse in the playoffs in his playoff games. And I'm willing to give rookie Dak against Aaron Rodgers a pass, but the 49ers have walked him down both times. And then the Packers came into his building and embarrassed his team. And that just can't happen because I picked the Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl that year.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got embarrassed by a 7 seed. I like Dak. And I thought Dak anywhere from 8 to 14 was cool. 6 is way too high for me.
Dylan, they was down 27-0.
Well, whose fault is that?
He before he threw his pick 6, they were down 27-0.
How many picks did he throw before that, though?
Just 1.
I mean, some of that's his fault.
He finished with 2 picks.
Listen, I'm not saying that game was only on him. There's a reason why after that game, Dan Quinn was gone.
Yeah. Did someone hire Dan Quinn, surprisingly? But yeah, for sure.
I'm just saying.
I mean, you look at this year. I mean, I'll say this about Dak Prescott. Thrown for over 4,700 yards passing this year. He was 27 touchdowns this year. We saw a career year from Pickens. I mean, this defense was terrible this year. They were god awful. Matt Eberflus got fired because the defense was terrible. And you saw someone like Brian Schottenheimer be able to really showcase his play calling ability because of quarterbacking from Dak Prescott. So like this Cowboys team defense was terrible, but like I thought they did relatively pretty good given the fact that they didn't really have any high expectations coming into the season. And Dak Prescott played above his means, in my opinion, in my honest opinion.
I thought Dak did have a great year. The one thing I will say, and it's not really his fault because it's not his fault. He has multiple ankle injuries, but the rushing ability's gone.
Yeah, for sure.
He's just not a runner, and he did still have 4 fumbles this year.
Yeah, but the rushing ability is gone, but he has gotten so much better as a passer.
He has. And again, I think anywhere from 8 to 14 is cool. I can't imagine putting Dak above Herbert right now because neither of them can do something in the playoffs, but in terms of who they are as players, I would easily take Herbert over him.
Go ahead. I get your comparison to Matt Stafford somewhat. I just think you're floating him around a little bit too close to Joe Burrow, and their situations are completely different. Joe Burrow is 5-2 in the playoffs, and Dak Prescott is not a playoff riser.
I kind of disagree on their situations being completely different, though. Joe Burrow is only 5-2 because of one playoff run.
And he's also 5-2 because his defense played out of their mind.
No, that next season after that Super Bowl, he made it to the championship game as well.
And their defense still play out of their mind.
I just think their situations are similar, especially right now.
I'm just talking about playoff
defense. 2 great wide receivers.
What is that?
I'm just talking about the playoff history.
It's 2-3, right? 2-3. 2-3.
Let me see if I could pull.
Maybe 2-6
playoff record.
No, not 2-6. I'm sorry. He's probably like 2-3, 2-4.
He's lost 4 playoff games. I know that.
So he's
twice to
the
he's lost twice to the Packers, twice to the Niners. He's 2-5.
Ooh, shit.
He's been paying some low seeds, man. You forgot when they had McCarthy, he was rattling off 12-win seasons every year as well.
They also lost a divisional round game to the Rams in 2019.
Yeah, and not to mention he had a lot of passing yards this season. I'll give him that. But like you said, their defense is cheeks. Huh?
I'll say this: he's had what I would say is 2 good playoff games. One came in a loss, his first playoff game against the Packers, 24 of 38 for 302, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick, a 103 passer rating. Aaron Rodgers had that great throw to Jared Cook. That's prime Aaron Rodgers. You're a rookie. I'll give you the pass. And then the NFC wildcard game against Tampa, he was just lights out, 305 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks. So
you sent Tom Brady into retirement, right? Or something like that.
He did. My last thing, though.
I do think Dak's overhated. I just think you're too high on him.
My last thing, aside from age, what does Justin Herbert do better than Dak Prescott? Aside
more mobile for sure.
Okay.
Better size.
I mean, you got a point. I ain't gonna lie.
I mean, listen. To be fair,
that's a good question.
To be fair, I have Herbert at 9 and Dak at 14, and it's not that big of a gap, really. Because, like I said, 8 through 14, I could have organized anyway.
Okay,
so
Dak Prescott has had better weapons. He has had better weapons during his career. He's had Ezekiel Elliott. He's had Amari Cooper. He's had CeeDee Lamb, George Pickens.
I'll say this, though. Herbert's got a much better coach right now than Dak has ever had in his career.
That's why next year is big, you know?
Yeah.
My number 5, this is where I bring up Drake May. And JaVon yells at me for having Drake May in my top 5. Listen, I've been waiting to bring up this stat because I didn't want to bring it up when Darien talked about Drake May and then JaVon didn't have this reaction. EPA, I understand. It is an advanced stat that some people don't love. Drake May on the year had a 169.96 total EPA. Jordan Love was in second at 120.84. That's a 50-point gap. Jordan Love to number, what is this? To number 10, Bo Nix is the same gap in EPA between number 2 Jordan Love and number 1 Drake May.
Goodness gracious.
Drake May was 1 vote away from being the MVP of the league, and in year 2, found a way to get to the Super Bowl.
He would have been the worst MVP.
And he was third. He was third
ever
in the NFL in rushing yards for a quarterback.
Ever.
Does it help that Lamar got hurt? Sure, but that's what Drake May did this year. He was doing it on the ground. He was doing it through the air. He was doing it more efficiently all regular season than anybody through the air. And yes, it was a weak schedule, but that shit was belt to ass every week against a weak schedule.
You put Drake May over Joe Burrow, dog? That's insane. Bro.
Yeah, that's wild. I ain't gonna hold you. That's wild.
Did we watch the play? Wait. I hate to be that guy, but is there any fucking doubt in my mind that if Joe Burrow would have started that Super Bowl, I don't want to do this for because you can't do this for every team. I'm just saying, bro.
Listen.
If Joe Burrow was on the Patriots, bro.
Hold on. Is there any doubt in your mind if Joe Burrow started that playoff series with the Patriots and got sacked as many times as Drake May that he would have even been playing come Super Bowl?
Oh my God! No, let's not do that. Let's not do that because
you're trying to put him in the one game that Drake May got to. How many times was Drake May sacked this year? What was he? The most, second most sacked?
How many times has Joe Burrow sacked his Super Bowl run? I'm pretty sure it's comparable.
I think Drake May surpassed him.
Do you know what? I don't know because it was so long ago. I can't remember.
This guy, low key though. Low key. Drake May better find his move because he might.
I'd also like to say we're talking about going into next year. Drake May is going into year 3. I'm kind of expecting some progression still.
I'm not.
You think he's done growing as a player? Because I think Joe Burrow's done growing as a player. I think Drake May's got levels to his game still. Especially, you talk about putting these guys in their situations. Let's flip it the other way. If you gave Drake May, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins this year instead of Booty and Stephon Diggs, who can only play 50% of the snaps, what would those numbers have looked like?
Dylan, they ain't got no defense, so what would happen?
Hey, listen, then Drake May would have been having those 2024 Joe Burrow numbers because every game would have had to be a shootout.
And he would have been at the crib, and you would have criticized him because he didn't make it to the postseason.
I don't know if he would have been at the crib.
Listen, Drake May is closer to Dak Prescott than to Joe Burrow.
I agree.
1,000%. There's no way. And
well, you got Dak Prescott over Drake May, so of course you agree,
bro. And that's, bro. What does he do better than? I get it. It is going into next season.
I mean, his
efficiency
is better than everybody.
He's definitely efficient without question.
I think Drake May can get better. I think his team, like the record, is going to get worse. Obviously, they're going to have a very hard schedule next season. So, I think he can get better. The team's going to get worse.
They have this. They're top 10 in cap space. I don't know if it's obvious that it's going to get worse.
Well, ain't that many free agents.
We'll see.
There, so.
I mean, that O-line, they could start there.
No, for sure.
All right, JaVon, who cracks your top 5 of 5?
5, I got Joe Burrow because
one spot off of where I had him, mind you.
Yeah, I had Drake May at 10. You can see my list. I had Drake May at 10, and in parentheses,
I'm gonna have graphics going up that way people can follow along.
I don't know if you guys can see, but I had Drake May at 10, and in parentheses, I put can substitute with Dak. So I did not want to put him at 10, but either way, I had Joe Burrow. Anyone who wants to look at Joe Burrow's injury history is fair. I just think you have to look at everyone's injury history as well. You know, you have to look at Jaden Daniels having an injury history back to college. You have to look at Lamar Jackson. You have to look at Lamar Jackson. He's missed the same amount of games if you include the playoffs as Joe Burrow. Nobody wants to bring that up either. You know, everybody has injury.
Lamar's got a couple more MVPs too.
He does, and that's why he's gonna be in everybody's top 3. I'm assuming. So I don't know, man. Darien had him a little too close to Dak Prescott for my liking, but they do have similar stories. So it's like, can I really blame him? I just seen Joe Burrow at his peak. I mean, I don't know. Granted, he did make it to a Super Bowl and a championship game, and last time he had a okay defense, he made it to the championship game, and he has the worst coach in his own division, and a division that's like a bloodbath out there every year, even with the Cleveland Browns. Even those games are hard to win. So I don't know. I feel like Joe Burrow needs to get cut some slack. He should not be outside of anyone's top 5, in my opinion.
Oh, have him one spot lower.
Yeah, no, that's just
catching strays.
Over a second-year quarterback who had a horrible playoff.
For me,
regular season.
For me,
that's true.
That is true. For me, I so like you say like, oh, having Dak and Joe is close. You know, I get that, but my top 5 is a bit different. These are guys that I view as game changers in this league, right? Consensus game changers, in my opinion. Joe Burrow, although he may not be changing the outcome of wins because of his defense being that damn terrible, I got Joe Burrow at 5. Okay. We saw Joe Burrow this year, first game back, healthy, went on the road to Baltimore and laid belt. So Ravens team
that beat up that 8-9 Ravens team.
No, let's not do that. That Ravens team was on a roll, and they were also in do or die mode, and they had to win out. And a lot of people had them winning that game. They had to win out to grab themselves a playoff spot. Of course, they lost that game, and Joe Burrow outplayed Lamar, and he played magnificent. The defense had a pulse that game. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, he followed it up with a bad performance against, I want to say, it might have been, I forgot who it was. It was literally the next week. But it's hard to win in this league when you don't have a defense, man. And this is why I'm going to continue to say.
Against the Bills, he was okay.
Oh, no. That was
he was really bad against the Ravens 2 weeks later when he put up a big goose egg.
Oh, yeah. That was the Ravens game he played bad in. And then that Bills game, I think he had that nasty pick 6 to Christian Benford. Yeah.
And
then
that was crazy.
Then to close out the season against the Dolphins and Cardinals, we saw vintage.
He lit up. Yeah. And also, I want to say in that game, they were up in that matchup, and the Bills walked them down. But this is why I say, like, winning isn't a quarterback stat, man. It's just really not. Like, you look at what this team is dealing with from a defensive standpoint. Granted, you could say Joe Burrow, he made all these threats and stuff like that. But as a general manager, you got to sit your quarterback down and say, hey, this is my team.
Oh, I 1,000% agree that should have happened.
Yeah. We're gonna do it the way I want to do it. We're not gonna get pigeonholed because you want to keep your guys around. We can always
drafted your best friend.
Yes,
that's your receiver one.
Exactly.
I mean, he's like the best receiver in the league, though.
No, I know.
So
but like,
that's kind of different.
If you're the GM, you gotta say to Joe, "We're paying you $50 million. We got your best friend. He's the best wide receiver in football.
Yeah, you got to work with that, gang. I ain't gonna lie.
Sorry, bro. You're getting a rookie wide receiver too, and we're getting you an O-line and defense, and that's it.
I agree. You could have had a BTJ. You could have had a whatever.
I mean, these wide receivers are not like a dime a dozen, but man, there's at least 4 or 5 in every first round of the draft that could be a 2 on that team.
I mean, what if they would have lost T. Higgins and they would have got a BTJ that following draft, because that was the same year that T. Higgins got paid, or they could have missed out. I forgot what receivers were top dogs last year. Slipping my mind right now. I don't know why.
I mean, we've seen guys like McConkey go in the second round. Like, there's pieces available.
But there's receivers this year, and they have a top 10 pick. You could have got your Carnell Tate. You could have got your Jordan Tyson. You could have got your
now you're praying Caleb Downs falls.
Exactly. My thing is, though, is just you can blame Joe, so on and so forth. I get that for how the roster is constructed, but at the same time, man, the Bengals still have a job to do. They went out there and drafted Shamar Stewart. Why? Why do that? The guy that had 4 career sacks in college. Why do that, right? And of course, he plays the game, and he's not good. You know what I'm saying? So the defense is terrible. They can't draft on defense. They're not seeing any development on defense. No matter who their DC, rather if it's Luan Arumo or they got in Golden this past year, it's still bad because they have bad personnel. So until the defense gets fixed, we're going to continue to see this Bengals team lose no matter what Joe Burrow does. He put up an historic season, 45 touchdowns, damn near 5,000 passing yards, and they still missed the playoffs. That's unheard of.
You literally can't do anything more.
What more can you do? I like
60 touchdowns.
Bro, my homeboys, they say in games like against the NBA, they say for a player to win a series or to show up in the playoffs, where's your 50, right? If you drop 50 and you still lose, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? But Joe Burrow gave us 50. He gave us damn near 50 and they still missed. I can't blame him for that. If he would have made the playoffs that year, he would have been the clear-cut winner to win MVP. So I say that to say Joe Burrow is still a top 5 guy. I think he's still a game changer. Health is definitely a question for sure. Durability, but JaVon brought up a great stat. Him and Lamar are similar in missed times. So until that defense gets improved, I can't continue to fault Joe Burrow because I know what Joe Burrow can do. He's going to get the job done, right? But you can't. He played damn near perfect in 2024 and he still missed it, man. That's all I needed to see.
It's like he's 5-2 in the playoffs, bro.
He's bigger than
5-2. So when he makes the playoffs,
on his best day, he could be the best quarterback in the game. We've seen him outplay Patrick Mahomes in a playoff game, which to some people that matters a ton. I got him at 6. You two guys got him at 5.
No, I got you.
Number 4, I got Matthew Stafford. Won the MVP this year, rightfully so. Obviously he's paired with McVay. He has Puka Nacua, he has Devontae Adams, he has Kyron Williams. So all the pieces there are there for him offensively to succeed, but he succeeds at every turn. He is an excellent quarterback. I don't think that they lost to Seattle this year, particularly because of his play. I just think that their defense was multiple tiers below Seattle's. So was their special teams, and that ultimately caught up to them. Matthew Stafford, to me, was the rightful MVP. I know there was a lot of Drake May supporters out there, but I did think Stafford had a much better year, especially when you factor in the fact he had better numbers against better competition. 4,700 passing yards this year, 46 passing touchdowns, only 8 interceptions, a 109.2 passer rating. It was his best season of his career yet. And I do think he is just a top 4 guy in the sport right now.
Yeah, I mean, I got Stafford at 4 as well, so I don't know.
Do you as well have him at 4, Darien?
Nope.
Okay.
Okay. Well, yeah, so we could talk about him for a little bit, but I will say he's been pretty consistent going back to when he was on the Lions. He's been throwing for 4K and 35 plus touchdowns as well.
And there's not a spot on the field that he can't put that ball to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, he has amazing weapons. I mean, I feel like Blake Corum is going to maybe take over the running back room next year. Who knows? But that offense, man, is the best in the business. I'm not going to lie. I'm this close to putting Puka Nacua at the top of my wide receiver rankings. I'm sorry. Like
number 1?
Yeah, bro. I'm sorry. I see him play
We're
live
gonna
and
have to run this back for wide receivers.
For sure.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, bro. That's the best receiver in the league. But we'll talk about that later. But yeah, I mean, he's a reigning MVP. So I feel like you got to put him in the top 5 off rip. I mean, the Drake May would have. Actually, no, I can't say that because the Drake May would have won MVP.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't lie.
Don't
lie.
Drake May would have been the worst of all time. You've been saying that in the entire podcast.
Yeah, don't lie. If he
would have been bottom 3 at least. I don't know every MVP ever in history, but he would have been down there with that playoff. I'm sorry, but yeah, I mean, when he's on the field, he has the best offense in the game, man. I don't really think I need to explain that much. He's a MVP.
Mm-hmm. Nah, I agree. He's the driving force. I'm interested to see who of our top 3 Darien has moved to 4.
Mm-hmm. Josh Allen.
I can guess. Oh!
Mm-hmm. The winter soldier.
Oh man.
Man, Josh Allen. I'm starting to get up to here with you, man. I really am. Granted, let me start off by saying this. I knew coming into this playoffs, this would have been your hardest task of getting your team to an AFC championship game. But you did your thing against the Jaguars, right? You played amazing. You're getting that wild card merging tag on you, but you played amazing, right? One of the highest QBRs in wild card history. You was amazing. That next game against Denver, first of all, Bo Nix outplayed you.
Man.
Let's start there. Let's put that on the table. And secondly, brother, I saw you do some of the most darnest things I've ever seen from quarterback.
God fumble at the end of the first half.
Bro, what are we doing? Your play got Sean McDermott fired, bro. I will not hold you. Like we gotta have that conversation, man. I like Josh Allen. I'm not gonna hate on him, but there's moments. Granted, you ran into the Grim Reaper. You ran into 15 a couple times, right? You didn't knock off Lamar. I get all that, man. But this was the year for you to at least get back to the conference championship. At least. Getting outplayed by Bo Nix. The game you had in that matchup was bad. The turnovers, the fumbling before halftime, the interceptions, the missed throws when you had the opportunities when Joe Brady dialed things up for you to Dawson Knox or Dalton Kincaid, whoever it was, in the end zone. Bad. I mean, the interception he threw, right? I mean, it's just.
Granted, the man had 2 picks in that game. He had 2 fumbles lost, 3 fumbles total. Like
bro,
he was coughing the ball up.
Bro. And I tried to defend him after that game, but I sat back. I said, man, if this was any quarterback in football, if this was Jalen Hurts, I would have been dogging him.
Hold on. Wait.
I got to keep it real, man. Now, I will say I test Josh Allen as one of the best quarterbacks from an athletic quarterback passing standpoint. He can make every throw on the field. He is a locomotive. He is, I call him the white version of Cam Newton. If Cam Newton never got hurt and he did all and had Stephon Diggs on his team and so on and so forth, he is that guy. But man, in that playoffs this year, I was shell shocked, man.
I have 2 reasons that I think 4 is too low. Number one, I think this year he cemented himself as the best dual threat quarterback in football.
You got your goddamn mind, Dylan.
We'll see where Lamar gets to next year. We'll see if he gets back to that level. But
okay,
this year,
if we're going into next year,
Josh Allen was
bro.
the best dual threat quarterback in football. This year. And also, I'll say this again. You're knocking him for a bad playoff performance, but I know 2 of the guys you got above him weren't in the dance.
Dylan, I don't watch Joe Burrow beat him on his home field. I don't watch this man on the sidelines look in the camera and say, yeah, I'm good, and go out there against the Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs and flop.
Hey, listen, I'm not saying he's number 1.
I watched him have home and field advantage in the playoffs, and Patrick Mahomes still whooped his ass.
So,
okay.
Well, hold on.
Okay.
We'll talk about Mahomes when we get to Mahomes.
Best
I'm not
dual
saying
threat,
over Mahomes. I'm just saying Josh isn't poor.
Best dual threat quarterback when you have Lamar Jackson out there is crazy.
He was the best dual threat quarterback this year. That's not crazy to say. This year.
I think he is.
This year. No,
The
it's not.
best
No, it's
submitted as the best, not top two, but the best.
He was the best dual threat quarterback this year.
That's
No, not
hilarious.
this year. I'm talking about the best. He submitted himself.
But I'm talking about this year. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I could have swore you said like
I said it, but then
He said this year. He said this year.
I saw your reaction and understood like that we weren't on
Oh.
the same wavelength. So I was like, no,
okay.
this year.
Oh, I'm so
And
sorry,
I said,
sorry.
listen, I believe Lamar will get back to what he was 2 years ago.
Oh,
But
I'm so sorry.
this year
Okay,
with
I'm
the
sorry.
hamstring injury and missing games,
Okay.
Josh was
I'm
the best
sorry.
running quarterback this year.
I'm sorry.
I mean, he had 14 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah, I just crashed.
Listen,
out.
I'm just saying, people want to talk about Jalen Hurts as a tush push merchant. I'm tired of the Buffalo Bills trying to ban this play, talking about player safety, and then they just spam cheese the hell out of it because their quarterback's huge.
I agree.
So if you're going to call Jalen Hurts a rushing touchdown quarterback merchant in terms of tush push, the 14 Josh had this year should all be under review then.
Yeah, I got Josh.
Hold up. That's crazy, bro. I'm sorry, but the fact that he's even taking these ass weapons this far into the playoffs, like, can we acknowledge that?
Oh, I got him higher than 4 for sure.
Bro, I can't. It doesn't make any sense to me. Every single playoff game Josh Allen has played, he has had inferior weapons, except for dating back to the Stephon Diggs days, and even then, it was like arguable. This is his first year with a half decent running back.
We'll talk about Mahomes when we get to Mahomes, but I'll say this: Mahomes has had worse weapons than Josh.
Hold on, Dylan. Hold on. Half decent. James Cook led the league in rushing this year.
This year. I said this year was the first year.
It wasn't half.
Cook was good last year. Too,
he was good last year. And if I'm not mistaken, there's a stat out there that when James Cook rushed for over 100 yards total from scrimmage, the Bills didn't lose, and if they did, he lost one game was against the Ravens. So
he was decent last year, but still, every playoff game he's played, maybe the Chiefs. But even that 1 year where the Chiefs had inferior weapons, didn't they have like the best offense in the NFL that year?
Well, I'll be honest, because here's the thing, and I don't know. I guess we'll see who Darien has at 3, but these guys, when they're getting paid like Mahomes, Josh, and Lamar, you don't get the best weapons. Mahomes has Travis Kelce, and he's a tight end, so they kind of get lucky there that it's a tight end. But who are his receivers? They had to get rid of Tyreek Hill when it came time to pay him. Lamar's got Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman. Is that much better or worse than King
Henry.
He's got James Cook. James Cook, who ran for more yards than King Henry this year.
James Cook led the NFL in fumbles from a running back this year as well.
That's because he's getting all these carries because he's so damn good.
He's getting all these carries. Josh Allen led the league in rushing touchdowns. He's not getting that much.
That led the NFL in fumble stat. It's 6-4 in terms of James Cook to Derrick Henry.
Still, though, it's right.
It sounds good, but this isn't first take. I'm going to correct you when you just throw out some stupid numbers.
You got to throw some shame on James Cook. I'll say this, and I know we got to move on. I just got Josh out at 4 because, this year, granted, the weapons weren't there, but, man, I just watched you in that Denver game, bro, and you had a chance, man. And you didn't lose because your weapons didn't show up. You lost because you didn't show up.
How you put Lamar over him, bro?
Well,
that's crazy.
I have Josh at 3. So,
Lamar.
I just think that those guys.
We'll talk about it.
I think those guys are the consensus top 3 to me. That's why I thought 4 for Josh was crazy. I guess now I know how you guys felt when I have Burrow at 6. Anyways, I have Josh at 3 because I do think that of the big 3 quarterbacks, he's done the least. You haven't won a bowl, and you got less MVPs. When healthy, Lamar's a better runner than you. When healthy, Mahomes is a better thrower than you. You're elite at both of those, but each of those guys has something over you, and you don't have playoff wins to back it. That's why I have Josh at 3. But also, Josh, if you could build a quarterback in a lab, it would be him. Like the size, the arm strength, it's all there. He's a really good combination of Mahomes and Lamar, but it hasn't resulted in wins. And of those 3 guys, he's the one who gets the turnover bug in the big games. Again, we just talked about it, but we saw it versus Denver. That's why he's 3 for me out of those guys. JaVon, number 3?
Number 3, I got Lamar Jackson. Now, his resume, honestly, is the reason why he's at number 3. But when it comes to the playoffs, the quarterbacks he's played or beaten in the playoffs and the quarterbacks he's lost to in the playoffs, it would make you squint your eyes and really, really contemplate rethinking how good he is. Because the quarterbacks he's played in the playoffs have not been amazing, or beaten in the playoffs have not been amazing. And out of all the, I mean, granted, any given Sunday, he could be the best quarterback in the league. I just wish his playoff resume was a little bit better. They were the favorites to win.
And we're debating top 3. Like, it's fair to be a little nitpicky here.
Like, he has been disappointing, like, from any aspect when it comes to playoff history. He's probably the greatest regular season quarterback ever. He reminds me of James Harden. You know, I'm not gonna lie. Well, he's not as bad as James Harden in the playoffs, so I will say that.
Yeah,
but
to honestly, me, there's no. I mean, if I knew everybody was going to be healthy for a regular season, give me Lamar over everybody. If it's just about a regular season.
Yeah. I mean, and the last game of this season was basically a playoff game, and I went to that game. I'm sorry, that game was amazing.
No, we're not blaming that loss on Lamar. He did his job.
Almost, but he turned up in the second half, so I can't blame him. And
he got them in position to win that game too.
He definitely did.
What do you mean? That's a makeable kick.
3 blown. Okay.
That's
3 blown coverages to Zay Flowers. He was wide open every time he caught the ball.
Wait.
So I get it.
He's got to throw him the ball.
I know he does have to throw him the ball. I'm just saying.
He didn't throw him that ball, and you started on ball 32 and killed him for not making that pass.
I think that's more on the Steelers' defense just being shitty.
Touchdowns, 1 pick in that game.
Yeah, he showed up in the second half for sure. It was looking weird at first, but he showed up. He played. He did it. He did what needed to be done.
That missed field goal was a 44-yarder. In today's NFL, that's more than close enough. We got kickers making
that's like an extra point, bro.
That shit wasn't even close, bro. That shit was like wide right. If I'm not
I couldn't believe it when I saw it, bro. I couldn't believe it, dog. I passed out at that game.
At 3, who do you got?
You passed out for real?
I swear. My girl, I was like at my girl's home. I passed out.
That's funny.
That's crazy.
At 3, I have Matthew Stafford. I think the resume he is building at this older age is really impressive, man. I think he's at the peak of his powers right now. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's an MVP now, an All-Pro. Yes, he doesn't have the All-Pros that match up to the Patrick Mahomes, the Lamar Jacksons, and the Josh Allens, maybe. But if you look at Matthew Stafford right now, he's incredible. Granted, he's always had the weapons and whatnot, but at this age, like I said, like he's doing amazing things. And honestly, like we watched him this year, the only quarterback to really whip up on the Seahawks defense that was arguably the best defense in football was Matthew Stafford. He had his way with that defense. So, I think he's playing his best ball right now. I think he has at least 2 more years in him. And winning this MVP is a really staple, in my opinion, for his career. I think he is definitely entering next season, at least before we'll see what injuries, God forbid, it happens. But he is a top 3 quarterback in football, in my opinion, right now.
The reasons I have Josh over him is, one, obviously the rushing ability. I mean, Josh is a top 2 rushing quarterback in football, and Stafford just can't run at all.
Yeah, for sure.
And when you factor in the pieces around, I'm not trying to make excuses for Josh, but he certainly doesn't have McVay, Puka, and Devontae out there with him. That's right.
And like 3 really good tight ends too. Like,
no, I would say Josh does have a couple of really good tight ends, and
he does. No, he does. He does.
Like they're on the same level.
I'm just saying, it's like a collective of all of them together. That's what I'm saying.
But at the same time, I mean, McDermott was a hell of a coach, in my opinion, and also,
I thought firing McDermott was a bad move.
And we're saying Puka Nacua like he wasn't draftable by the Bills. They passed up on him.
Yeah, I mean, not that that's
I don't think anyone could have predicted this, though.
Nah, for sure. I agree, but I mean, I know Matthew Stafford. You can say Puka Nacua like he has that, but
Stafford.
So I'm sorry.
Like Puka's not who he is right now without Stafford.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think Matthew Stafford made Puka because we know Matthew Stafford to really force feed his number 1 guys.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys think he's a Hall of Famer, but I will say one thing: to have success like this late in your career, there's not too many quarterbacks that have done.
I saw people talking about the Matthew Stafford is he a Hall of Famer debate, and I had to go check because I thought I was out of my mind. by the end of next year, he's going to be top 5 in passing touchdowns and passing yards. Like, what are we
Hall of
talking
Famer.
about? Like, he has a
Hall of
Super
Famer.
Bowl, an MVP, and he's statistically all time top 7 in both of those categories right now. Like, if he's not in.
One thing to add to the Hall of Fame case, that was a great point, JaVon. We haven't really seen a quarterback at this older age really peak at this time. The last quarterback, to my knowledge, was someone like Kurt Warner or maybe even John Elway. John Elway, his stats are pretty.
I mean, Brady just peaked for 15 years.
Brady was amazing, but John Elway was pretty mid from a stat standpoint.
Yeah,
he got his best ball was in his mid 30s, right? Won 2 championships, and he was always a generational guy.
And by the way, the Rams having 2 first-round picks this year, one of them being the Falcons.
Exactly.
There's still a world. Like, Stafford said he's coming back next year, and I don't blame him.
Yeah. And
the
right
team's
now,
going to be better.
Agree. And right now, they're probably the at least the top 2 championship favorite right now.
I think they're tied with the Seahawks in terms of betting odds.
So,
that's crazy.
My number 2 is Lamar Jackson. We've talked about him a little bit already. When healthy, the best dual threat quarterback in football. Just want to reiterate that point there. What he is as a runner is just unmatched. And I thought the last 3 years, the way he developed as a passer, he's become an elite passer as well. I thought he should have won the MVP over Josh Allen 2 years ago, but I thought Josh Allen should have won it over him 3 years ago. So I guess we kind of evened out there. But I thought what Lamar did 2 years ago was just super, super impressive. In terms of efficiency, it's honestly the most efficient quarterback season I can remember since one of Aaron Rodgers' last MVPs. He was really, really good. So I hope we see Lamar healthy. I'm excited to see him with, in my opinion, an upgraded coaching staff with Jesse Minter at head coach now. Maybe hot take, maybe not, but I think them moving off from Harbaugh means good things for the Baltimore Ravens and Lamar Jackson.
I keep forgetting that this list is going into next season, but I'm sorry. If this is just me and I had to pick a quarterback, I thought we were all under the impression that, due to Josh Allen's playoff history and going toe-to-toe with Mahomes and the fact that he's like the greatest wild card quarterback ever and Lamar Jackson doesn't have that same type of playoff success, I thought we were all just, pay him over Lamar, but I guess it's not like that, but it is going into next season. The Ravens basically hired the best coach on the market too, and they have to be better next year. Everyone's going to think so. I kind of understand it a little bit now.
So you have Josh at 2?
Yeah.
And then Darien, you're number 2.
It's Lamar.
All right. So we all got Mahomes at 1. Still, missed the playoffs. Doesn't matter.
Which is pretty crazy because going into next season, we may not know what he looks like next season because he just had a very bad leg injury. So
and he's about to be 30.
Yeah. They're comparing his leg injury to what Robert Griffin III suffered his rookie season.
Oh, for real?
I will say this. Until I see it, you'll never see me betting against Mahomes.
I agree. But if you look at
it again, bro.
And this year, he also had, I'm just fact checking, the best rushing season of his career. And that's in 14 games.
Yes.
He had the most rushing yards of his career and the most rushing touchdowns of his career this season. So he showed you that the legs are still there. I don't think anybody doubts his arm talent is still there. The numbers weren't super efficient this year, albeit was missing Rashee Rice a lot of the time. Travis Kelce clearly regressed. The offensive line had its injuries, especially towards the end of the year. And Xavier Worthy, I think, was a waste of a pick. But
I got a hot take as well on that. Factoring all that in, I think Andy Reid is a wash play caller right now, too.
That's why they brought Bieniemy in. I think they brought him in to spice up that offense again. I think that the playbook is going to have a lot of Bieniemy in it, and you'll see Andy Reid call the plays to open the season, and we'll see.
You also have to remember they didn't have a run game, bro.
Yeah, they don't.
Mahomes was their run game. He might have been their leading rusher on this season.
I'm pretty sure he was.
He was a close second for sure. Close second.
Because
he was a close second. Well, actually, he was a close third by the end of the year because of him missing. But it was Kareem Hunt 611, Pacheco 462, Mahomes 422.
I hope they get someone like Jeremiah Love or one of
That's
these
the word on the street.
Receivers. Yeah,
Jeremiah Love, Carnell Tate, Mekhi Lemon, Jordan Tyson. Someone's gonna be there.
Now they need a running back.
Yeah, you gotta get
they
Love
need over anything.
You
and
can't.
I thought they were going to get Brees Hall, but the Jets just hate that man with all their heart.
I think the Jets overly love him. He hates them with all his heart.
They're going to franchise tag him, and he's going to send death threats at the GM, bro.
Yeah,
Nah,
I mean,
I think it's best for them to grab a running back in the draft. I'm pretty sure you'll talk about that later, but yeah, because like that leg injury is very worrisome to me, man. I won't hold you. Like you can't put it past Mahomes, modern day science, so on and so forth. But damn, man, that's just not ideal.
I also don't think that any of the guys that we considered close to Mahomes, whereas like going into last year, I think the consensus top 3 was Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, whichever way you wanted to order it. None of those guys that were close to him did enough to pass him. Like if Lamar had come out this year and won the Super Bowl and Pat missed the playoffs, and the same thing for Josh, there'd be a real argument. And Lamar had a bad year. Josh did what he does. Like nothing changed without Mahomes being there.
And I'll say this about Josh. Now, of course, this would have been very hard for him to accomplish, but if he would have at least got to the bowl, I think that would
you could have made a case.
I would have said it because it would have been the greatest run I've seen from a quarterback with that supporting cast to get that far. And I would have undoubtedly said, yeah, he is the best quarterback in football.
No.
Yeah, because Mahomes has won still 3 of the last 5.
Yeah.
So,
bro, how
he's been to 4 of the last 5.
I strongly disagree with that. Like, that doesn't even make a lick of sense to me.
How's so?
One person can go to the last 3 of 5. So he has a down year, and all of a sudden, a dude just makes it to the Super Bowl and doesn't win, and he's put above him? That doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I mean,
I think you could have made the case.
You could have made the case, which I'm not saying.
I understand the argument, bro.
Because obviously it depends how he played to get there. But Josh last year won the MVP. If this year he made a Super Bowl and Mahomes missed the playoffs.
Mahomes has won with the electric offense. He's won with the no-run game, elite defense. He's won the year after Tyreek Hill.
Well, that's why we got him at number 1.
Yeah, we got number 1. I'm just saying if Josh Allen would have got to the Super Bowl with this current Bills roster,
well, there were people coming in.
Number 2 quarterback, undoubtedly. There
was people coming into this season that had Josh above Mahomes coming into the year.
Some of them did.
So I'm just saying, if he had made the Super Bowl and Mahomes,
not me, but some of them did.
Like I swear, man, it's like people only watch the regular season.
Let's be honest, the Chiefs were missing the playoffs even if Mahomes stayed healthy.
Yeah, that is true. He had a down year, but I'm sorry, you make 5 Super Bowls, dog. I'm not gonna just 5 Super Bowls.
I mean, honestly, I think
5.
I'll say it right now in the podcast. If Jalen Hurts would have got back to the bowl and won it, I would have put him top 1. I mean, like.
Well, see,
I'm not saying you have to make 5 Super Bowls to pass him. I think you do have to at least beat him in the playoffs and win a Super Bowl.
But because you said that to me during the regular season. I'm going to say what I said to you then. If he doesn't make the playoffs, that is not Josh Allen's fault that he didn't get to beat him in the playoffs.
Okay, cool. One Super Bowl doesn't make you better than Mahomes either.
If Josh had gone to the Super Bowl this year and won it, he would have been my number 1 quarterback.
Well, JaVon, I don't think me and Dylan are saying over it entirely. I think going into next
season. If he won the Super Bowl this year, Josh Allen, he would have been my number 1. I will say it.
Going into next season, I think that's fair. Yeah. I mean, this man we don't even know what his leg will look like anymore. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
to be fair, we all got him at 1 because none of those guys stepped up.
Exactly.
Okay. I mean, I don't agree, but I understand it. I don't agree though. Like one Super Bowl does not, like one great Super Bowl is not better than 5 Super Bowl run. I'm sorry, like the math.
That's not. Well, we're talking about all time rankings. Mahomes for sure would have been ahead of him.
Yeah,
right now rankings. He only missed the playoffs 1 year. He has one down. Are you punishing Jalen Hurts because he had one bad year with one bad coordinator?
I dropped him to 7.
Yeah,
why did you have him to start? You had him at 6 before the season started, right?
I had him at 5 before the season started.
Oh,
I punished him for sure because he was.
He didn't even make the list for you. So
he was top 10 for me. I see the offense stayed healthy, relatively speaking, and you didn't even get past the practice squad defense in San Fran.
I understand. I don't agree.
You didn't play. You didn't play that good this year. Very subpar season.
Hey, we all.
Did you even get over 3,300 yards passing this year?
I'm a little bit more lenient. I think one bad year is not the end of the world. You know, that's just
to be
me.
fair, at least it's consistent logic.
Yeah, I think one bad year is not the end of the world. You have Lamar Jackson at your second best quarterback. This was a down year for Lamar Jackson. Can we all agree?
Bad year, not the end of the world.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
The reason why I have Lamar there is because I know what Lamar can do. When healthy.
Okay. I know what Mahomes can do when healthy. He's Patrick Mahomes.
And we got Patrick Mahomes number 1.
No, I get it. I'm sorry. I'm just throwing the Josh Allen
you
number
want
1.
us to have him 1 and
I'll
then
say
a
this.
gap.
I'll say this.
It's like you're basically saying that to me already in my head. I swear.
And I'll say this. I think some players, given their overall talent, deserve some grace.
I feel like
quarterbacks.
Remember the first take segment where the guys built, like Skip and Stephen A. built their all-time starting 5, and Skip Bayless had Michael Jordan, Kwame Brown, Scott Labrini, Tiago Splitter. You don't know what I'm talking about.
Nah, I never seen what
there was a first take segment where they were building their all-time top 5s, starting 5s, and Skip Bayless, it was Michael Jordan and just a bunch of like bum bench players, and Skip Bayless said, "All I need is the GOAT." And
that's Glaze.
And I'm feeling like that's what you would say about Mahomes. If you
he has won with some bumps. He won with Sky Moore though. He did win with Sky Moore though.
Yeah, Travis.
That's all I'm saying.
And he had the best defense in football.
Travis.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce was still good then too, mind you.
He was elite.
And Pacheco, that was his one good year. So
I get. We can't let JaVon rewrite history, man. The Chiefs didn't have the offense, but that was still the number 1 offense in football, and they also had one of the better top 5 defense in football. And Chris
Jones was
number
1 because of who? It's not like they had. It's not like they had.
Matter of fact,
George Pickens.
JaVon, if I'm not mistaken, granted, it was a competition he played, but that same offense didn't really skip a beat in that same playoff run when Chad Henne stepped in against the Jaguars. Saying.
Anything is possible.
That's play calling, sir. But I get you. That's play calling.
You said quarterback. But anyways, yeah.
That's cool. I get you.
Yeah.
Dang, everybody
man.
top
this
list.
This is the longest podcast in the history of the channel. I will re-show everybody's top 10 list on a graphic for a recap for everybody right now. That should be up. We don't need to read through them. Obviously, some differences of opinion. An hour and 45 minutes. If you guys made it this far in the video and you didn't hit the like button, I don't know what to tell you, man. You dedicated a movie length to this podcast, so you better have enjoyed it. Hit the like button. JaVon and Darien, both of their TikToks, YouTubes, etc. links are in the description as always. We're going to have to run it back for wide receivers. We'll find a time to do that. We already know where the debate is starting. We already
number 1 is crazy.
George Pickens top 5, Puka Nacua number 1 potentially. Those are your previews of that. Make sure
that's not crazy. It's not crazy.
I don't even have JSN in my top 2. You know what I'm saying?
I'm cutting y'all off before we get into too many wide receiver arguments.
All right. Appreciate it, fellas. JaVon, Dylan, it was nice.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for having me on, man. Appreciate it so much.
All right.